Savision Live Maps for System Center 2012, Navigating the Authoring Console. When we start the authoring console for the first time, we're presented with the start page where we can create services and custom dashboards within Live Maps. Services can be thought of as distributed applications in Operations Manager, as that's what they create behind the scenes. To start the authoring console, we'll create a new diagram. Select the location for our diagram, and then give it a name. We also have the option to make the diagram visible or remove it from the web console view. This is handy when you want to keep the view from getting too cluttered and when this diagram might be a part of a larger live map. We are presented with a blank canvas, which operates pretty much like any other paint program. At the top, we have controls for authoring content. We have the rectangle control tool, the rounded rectangle tool, and the ellipse tool. That can be used to contain other objects within live maps. A real handy feature is the ability to make all the objects the same size. So we can click and drag, selecting all the objects, right click, select shape, and then make same size as the biggest or smallest. We may also want to position our objects on a page. Or we might want to make sure that they are aligned. So again, we can select all the objects, right click, go to shape, and then align. And then we can align them either vertically or horizontally, centered, right or left. The authoring console uses a grid to position all objects on the page. And if we wanted to view that grid, we can right click, go to Page Properties, and select Show Grid. We also have the option of whether we want to snap objects to a grid or have freeform movement on the page. Here we can see the grid. You'll spend a lot of time using your arrow keys on your keyboard to position the objects. And they will auto-align on the grid. If you want more finite control, you can select the object, hold down the Alt key, and use your arrow keys for greater control. Instead of the object snapping to a grid, you have more range of motion. We also have the ability to add images to a page. And you have a selection of pre-built images. And you also have class images which come directly from Operations Manager. None of these controls are tied to Operations Manager objects yet, but we can drag those objects onto the page and have them on the Live Maps dashboard. The way we do that is we can either add a dashboard item, which puts a button-like control on the page, or we can use tile. With the difference being a tile, when the health state of the object changes, the entire tile will change color. So if the health is green, the tile will be green. If the health is red, the tile will be red. For a dashboard item, it will only show the object with the little green or red circle. And we can show that by dragging objects to the different items. We can right-click on the objects and change the image. We can change the label. We can change the size of the state icon. And just like the other shapes, we can align and make the same size as other objects. You can change the text, line, and fill colors as well. Please keep in mind that when you're dragging objects onto the dashboards, maps that were created as part of Live Map services, you cannot drag directly to the dashboard. You must go to the map view to drag those objects over onto the dashboard. And this is the basics of how you create objects on a Live Maps authoring console.